The city of Seattle started its drive for season ticket holders yesterday for the potential franchise coming from the NHL. I want to take a look at the results and compare how they did with the latest expansion team, the Vegas Golden Knights. And that's coming up next. Welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a big hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Well, I think it's safe to say that the city of Seattle is getting quite excited about hockey and the potential of the NHL coming to their city. The season ticket drive got started yesterday in Seattle and they did amazingly well. So let's take a look at their results, and once again I'd like to thank one of our viewers and subscribers, Kyle Chang, for helping me with some of the articles that I'm using here to reference the data here. He's been quite helpful in sending me along information as it develops out in that area, so thanks again, Kyle. So the Seattle area, they were going crazy putting deposits on season tickets yesterday. They absolutely blew away what other franchises have done in the past when they've taken deposits on season tickets to kind of go along with their application for an NHL Expansion franchise. So this city, they ended up with 25,000 deposits within 30 minutes. That's absolutely crazy. They even at one point, they were doing this through the Ticketmaster website, and the website ended up crashing because the traffic was just too heavy. So obviously not all those people are going to get season tickets because the arena is not that big. I believe the seating capacity is going to be somewhere around 18,000 or just shy of. So obviously a lot of these people will be getting refunds because they just can't possibly issue that many season tickets. But the fact that it was that high was absolutely amazing. Now I believe they continued on, and by the end of the day I think they ended up around 28,000. So obviously it goes to show that there's way more than enough interest in this city to have an NHL franchise, and they are getting giddy and excited for NHL hockey. So that's amazing. I've never seen any other season ticket drive go that fast, that crazy, especially for a hockey team, that quickly. So that's absolutely amazing. So kudos to you, Seattle. I think you're in a great position to support a team, and it looks like it's definitely a foregone conclusion that you're going to get your team sooner than later. It looks as though the arena projects are scheduled to be open and finished and ready for 2020. So that looks as though that would be the more likely opening season, 2020-21. So we'll stay tuned. Now the NHL is expected to vote on this, I guess, at the Board of Governors meetings in June. So more than likely will be summertime before we have an official announcement, but I would say sometime in June or July, the announcement should come to make everything official. You never know, they might even do that in the draft. That's certainly a possibility with the draft. I believe this year's in late June, so that's a possibility. So stay tuned for this summer for the official announcement. But at this point in time, considering the ownership group that's in place are very stable, they're funding this whole project privately. There's no taxpayer money on the line here, so they don't need any agreements that way from the city. You know, the arena's on schedule to be ready for 2020. They've got their application submitted. The NHL seems to be on board so far. When you hear comments from other teams and owners, they certainly seem to be on board, and especially the ones in the western area that they could create rivalries with. So obviously there's lots of good going on, and I think it's just a matter of time before this becomes a reality. So now let's do a quick comparison here to see how this Seattle group did versus Vegas. Now I know when Vegas did their season ticket drive, they did very well. The Las Vegas ownership group and the NHL were extremely pleased, and obviously they got their franchise. But now in their case, they ended up, in the first 48 hours, they had 5,000 deposits. So that's nowhere near 25,000. And then they ended up hitting their goal of 10,000 deposits right around the 90-day mark. So within 3 months, they got 10,000 deposits on season tickets, which is still really good. But look at how much better Seattle is. So I think this is a slam dunk. This is definitely going to happen. It's just a matter of time here. Hopefully we get to the summertime when they vote on it, the Board of Governors. I can't imagine anything going in their way. And then from there they can move forward, and then we'll have other things to discuss, like who's going to be their general manager, what's the team name going to be, you know, and all those types of things. We've already kind of started some early discussions, but obviously we can get into things a little bit more officially at that time. Now the other big question here, seeing as it seems to be a foregone conclusion, this is going to happen. It only makes sense that Seattle goes into the Pacific Division considering their geographical location. Now, if you take a look at the two divisions in the Western Conference between the Central and the Pacific, obviously that would kind of create an imbalance if they don't move somebody else or realign out of the Pacific. So my question to you is, how do they go about doing this? Do they end up just moving one team from the Pacific to the Central and then move Seattle into the Pacific? So if they do that, who moves to the Central? Could it be Arizona? I mean, there is some speculation that Arizona may or may not have a team come 2020, but seeing if everything is the way it is today, that would probably make the most sense from a geographical standpoint. But I know when they put Las Vegas in that division, it was kind of, you know, in a way where Vegas and Arizona both kind of, you know, creating a rivalry between those two teams. You know, obviously that never really materialized this year because the teams are in very different directions right now. But over time, it has potential. So what do you think? Do we, if everything's the same, do we just move Arizona to the Central, put Seattle in the Pacific, and we move on? Do they consider realigning the entire Western Conference? I don't think they can do a whole lot. And the East is fine the way it is right now, barring some other team moving, which it doesn't, you know, not in the immediate future here. I know come 2020, there's always a possibility there could be something that we don't see happening right now come up to change things. But I just want to get your opinion. What do you think the NHL does with the Seattle group? To me, it only makes the most sense they go into the Pacific, but that creates an imbalance. So how do they solve that? Do they simply move one team to the Central? Do they consider realigning some of the divisions here? Give me your thoughts down below in the comments and let me know. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We have daily uploads here, oftentimes more than one upload per day. We like to be very interactive and discuss all things hockey, so certainly stay tuned for more great content. Also, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, consider checking us out on social media. You're going to see our Twitter handle on the screen right here. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and all those accounts are linked down below in the description, so check those out. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.